Every Day Gluten-Free by Karen. Today I'm going to be making gluten-free Washington Island coffee cake. When I told a friend of mine that I was born on the island of Washington Island in Door County, then she said, "You know all about the Washington Island coffee cake then." And I didn't know anything about it, and so I looked it up in our Washington Island church cookbook, and sure enough, there it was. Mary Ann, my old babysitter, was the author of that recipe. And I wanted to make that gluten-free for my friend that told me about the recipe, and also for Mary Ann, who used to babysit me quite often with a bunch of other girls. Join me as we make gluten-free Washington Island coffee cake.
Let's get started. We're going to start with 2 sticks of butter, or a whole cup. I'm just going to get that starting to mix. It's softened butter that I'm using. And to that, I'm going to add 2 cups of granulated sugar, one envelope of unflavored gelatin, 1 teaspoon of cardamom, ground cardamom, and then I'm going to add in 3 cups of flour, very slowly so it doesn't splash all over. And I'm just going to let that combine. The butter will still be a little bit crumbly, but I do want it mixed in there. And then I'm just going to take 1 cup of this flour, sugar, butter mixture. Doesn't matter if it's exact, just a little heaping, I guess. And I'm going to put that aside to save for the topping. To my butter mixture, I'm going to add, first of all, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, but it says to put it into the buttermilk, so that's what I'm going to do. Give that a little stir. And I'm going to start this and just mix the buttermilk right in there with the baking soda. And 2 beaten eggs. And I'm just going to let that get moistened, which is right there. I'm going to scrape down the sides and the bowl and the beaters. And I'm going to place it in a greased 9x13 pan. Right-handed, so it's a little awkward doing it that way, so I'm going to pull it over this way. And then just smooth it out. Once I get it spread out there, I'm going to take the 1 cup of the butter flour mixture, and I'm just going to sprinkle that on top to make a nice crumble. Then I'll pop it in the oven, 350 degrees, for 30 to 35 minutes. After 35 minutes, pull my beautiful coffee cake out of the oven, and when it's cooled for about 10 minutes, I will glaze it. And now I'm going to make the glaze. And if you've seen any of my videos, you'll know that, to me anyway, a glaze is not an exact science. I am using about 2 tablespoons of melted butter and a cup of powdered sugar. And I am corn-free as well as gluten-free. I am allergic to corn, and so I made my own powdered sugar. So if any of you are interested in that recipe, I will have that on my blog, and you can find that recipe for my corn-free powdered sugar. Instead of adding a vanilla or a different flavoring, I'm going to add cardamom just because, and I'm doing about 1/4 of a teaspoon just to complement the cardamom that's already in the cake, and about 2 tablespoons, 1 to 2 tablespoons of cream. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of it. Add the rest of it. And it comes out with a nice glaze that actually, surprisingly, I had the right proportions. So I'm going to drizzle that on top of the coffee cake. And after it's cooled for just a little bit, I'm going to just put on the glaze. It's not the most smooth glaze I've ever made, but it'll do the trick. Just kind of smooth it all over the cake. And there we have the gluten-free Washington Island coffee cake. And if any of you are interested in either my gluten-free white rice flour mix or my corn-free powdered sugar mix, I will have links below. I'll have a blog post with both of those recipes and a video post for the flour mixture. Thank you for joining me today.